Good morning, everyone. So, the aquaponics system. What is it? I don't even know how long ago it was now. Last week. If you'll see in my previous video, I'll leave a link up there. We actually lost all of our fish. So, big problems. What do we do now? And I thought I would take this opportunity to actually highlight the often forgotten and neglected or ignored element of aquaponics. Now, you could be forgiven in thinking, I have no fish in here, so I don't need to worry about my system. But there's still a lot of other things living in this system, and I'm not just talking about the plants or the cucumbers. Look at that cucumber. My goodness. Now, and this is really, really important. And the plants need food. So what do I do? And you might think, oh, the fish were being fed on the fish waste. But they actually weren't. The fish waste was not actually the plant's food source, because fish waste and what the fish expelled was ammonia. Now, plants don't need ammonia. Plants need nitrogen. So where does the nitrogen come from? So there are many other living things in the aquaponic system other than just fish, which I don't have living in there anymore, and plants, which I have an abundance of at the moment. Even in my incredibly neglected system, I still have a large amount of plants. And check out how well these cucumbers are going. I mean, look at that. Look at these cucumber plants. I only planted those, just over a week ago? Oh, it's probably a bit more than that now. And these basil, they're just doing, I mean, they're volunteers. I didn't plant them. They just volunteered all by themselves from a plant that I had in there previously. The pella I planted. The pella I need to do something about. I need to chop it back or something and create more pella plants, which I might actually do. Because he's going nuts. Wow. Sorry, back to the aquaponics and the unsung little heroes of this lovely system. Now, for those who don't know, aquaponics is a system where you have fish and plants growing symbiotically, and they don't grow in soil. They grow in this case, hydrogen clay balls. But generally, my system, I actually have, at the very least, I have 3/4 inch gravel at the bottom, and then the hydrogen clay balls at the top is what I aim to do, and what I will be doing next time. This system is just the hydrogen clay balls because this system was never going to be here permanently. I actually wasn't even sure if we were going to be able to buy the house when we set this up. So I thought I might have needed to actually move it. And the hydrogen clay balls, look at that cucumber. Yeah, I think I'll pick that one. The hydrogen clay balls are a lot lighter than 3/4 inch gravel, but I'll go into the media in another video in a lot more depth. Check out all those lettuces. That's all self-sown. That's a lettuce that went to seed and it's just gone nuts. And you got one of the beds, well, a couple of beds actually dumping their water at the moment. And I'll go into that in another video, showing you how the siphons work and all that sort of thing. But at the moment, we're talking about the unsung and often forgotten element of an aquaponic system, which is the bacteria. Now, it's actually the bacteria that feed on the ammonia. At least it's one type of bacteria that feed on the ammonia. And then that bacteria, the byproduct of that action is they turn the ammonia into nitrite. And then there's another section of type of bacteria, and they turn the nitrite into nitrate. Then the plants take up the nitrate. As you can see, do fantastically, especially leafy greens and celery. Celery just goes nuts. That plant there is actually one that I grew from a plant from the shops So I bought a celery from the shops, chopped the top off, stuck it in the aquaponics system, I think about 4 years ago, and 2 moves. So back when we were living at Eagleby in Dampier Avenue on a 600 square metre block, 5 years ago now, oh, probably getting close to 6 actually, was when I started that plant. And since then it has just doubled and multiplied and grown and expanded. Now I didn't bring obviously the whole thing over here, I only brought little bits over because we had a very stressful year. And what's in the aquaponics at the moment is what I was able to salvage and just got chucked in here to, as a bit of a life preserving system. But back to the bacteria. The bacteria live on the clay balls, which is why the clay balls are really, really good, because they've got a lot of surface area for the bacteria to grow on. Because the bacteria is it needs to live in an area that's filled with oxygen, and that this does get that because these beds are a flood and drain system, so they fill up slowly and then they drain quickly. So yes, hold on for a minute, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to have to wrap this up fairly quickly. Now, a lot of people, some people will actually have biomass filters that they'll have their system in, and I'm hoping in the next big system that we will actually have multiple different filtration systems, including the biomass filter and the swirl filter and all that sort of thing. We have had a swirl filter set up previously when we were at Dampier Avenue. That was our 600 square metre block that we were living in about 5 years ago. Then we moved to the 3.5 acre block in Eagleby on Eagleby Road, and that was 3.5 acres. So we were there for 4 years, and now we've moved here to Lockyer Valley, and we've got 10 acres. So we're in the process of setting up all of our systems again. Oh, look, some beans. Check it out. Lovely beans growing. My boys love beans out of the aquaponics. And that's one thing I've really noticed. The boys really love just coming out and picking stuff out of the aquaponics and eating it. My 3-year-old loves the celery, which actually all started because I was breaking off the celery to give to the goats. I'll leave a link up there to a playlist for the goats. So yeah, they love coming out here and raiding the beans and checking out for strawberries, and eating the celery. So that's my focus on today's video, was the bacteria and the unsung hero of the aquaponics world. The bacteria is so important, and I'm going to have to feed my bacteria until I get more fish, which we're probably going to hold off on because we're hopefully going to have the big system set up shortly, so that so this system here will actually be completely dismantled and integrated into the big system. And then I will have probably my balcony unit with bathtubs here, because being straight outside the kitchen door, using permaculture principles, this is zone 0. Well, it's zone 1 actually. Zone 0 is in the kitchen. So this is a really good place to have things that I eat, and so I can just come and pick it, and I see it every day. But that's permaculture. Totally different subject. The bacteria, to feed these little guys. Now I could get the boys to pee in a bottle and put the pee in here. That would create enough ammonia to keep the bacteria alive, and that would do really, really well. I don't really want to do that. The other option that I've got that I'm probably going to go with, that I will go with actually, is I'll just put sea salt in there. And I'll just put a cap full of sea salt in there. The other thing I could do is put fish food in there. The fish food will also do the job because it'll break down and create ammonia. But I will just use sea salt for now. I'll put a couple of caps of sea salt in here each day, just to keep that bacteria ticking along and keep the garden growing. So until I get fish again, I guess this system will actually be a hydroponic system with a kick, because I'm not using chemicals. And my main engine of this system is actually the bacteria. The fish feed the bacteria. The bacteria do all the hard work. And the bacteria live in the growing media. So yes, the unsung hero of the aquaponics system. And once I've done it, I'll actually create a whole series. This is actually the first video in a whole series of videos on the aquaponics and how it all works. So remember to like and subscribe to the channel, and feel free to share it around. Share the love. And I'll catch you in the next video. Bless you. Have a great day. If you've got any comments, questions or suggestions, please feel free to write them down below, and connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube obviously. I do have a Twitter account, but I don't check it very often, and I do have a website as well, so feel free to have a look through those, and have a great day. Bless you.